Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, hello, hello. I am so grateful and thankful that you are here and that you are watching this. I'm Flora Sage. I am your life coach to help you create a life that you are super excited about by helping you weed out the busy and the bullshit that is keeping you from the life that you truly, truly want. So today we're going to talk about the power of curiosity. So before we get into it, go ahead and post in the comments if you're watching this live or the replay by saying hashtag live or hashtag replay. Hello, Shauna. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so the power of curiosity. This is huge. So all month long inside of the 1 Degree Shift Tribe, we have been talking about boundaries, which is huge because boundaries truly, oh my gosh, boundaries really create the life that we have. Hello, Deb. And we've been talking about internal and external boundaries. Hello, Becca. And we've been talking about how boundaries help us and how boundaries hinder us. We talked about outer boundaries, all kinds of different boundaries. And today I want to talk with you about how curiosity can help you discover more about yourself and other people, so that you can find out what resonates with you, what doesn't resonate with you, why and why not. And that will help you to create your own set of internal and external boundaries just by getting curious and just by finding out more about yourself through other people and vice versa. So over the next couple of days, over the next couple of weeks, or even months or years, like I do this all the time, I want you to get curious. Okay, so I know that this coming weekend there's the Memorial holiday, and a lot of people are having cookouts and all these other things while we remember those who have passed on in service to our fine country. And like I said, at these cookouts and whatnot, there's going to be a lot of people there, and there's always that one person that maybe has a little bit too much to drink, or that one person that maybe is just a little bit too loud, or that one person that is just ruffling feathers. And then there's the other groups of people, you know, they have their tight group of people. There's the wanderer that just kind of doesn't really have a group. And then there's the people that are quiet and just sit there. And so there's just all kinds of a dynamic. So I want you to pay attention when you're in these parties and these situations at these events. I want you, and I would encourage you to observe. Observe how people are interacting. Observe if you could maybe pinpoint what someone's boundaries are, and observe if someone is crossing someone else's boundary. So you know that really loud person that they're just like a really close talker and they're like, hi, how are you? And you're like, well, hello. And the other person is like, hi. And they kind of put their hand up, or they kind of like step back, or they recoil. That's a boundary that was crossed, and that other person is like, well, okay. And so they're creating that buffer zone between each of the people. And then you have those people that are acquaintances. You have those people that are really, really tight with each other. So they might lean in closer when they're having a conversation, so that it's just between them, so that nobody else hears. And then you have those really boisterous people who just hello, and they kind of encompass everybody in their space and in their boundary. So it's very interesting when you do this, because again, when you sit in observance and you observe how the people dynamic and interpersonal dynamics play out, it's very curious, because you can see your reaction or your response to other people's boundaries and other people's conversations. And then you can use what you've learned. This is a big thing. Use what you've learned in observation in your interactions with these same people. Okay. Rebecca said, that's my daughter, this space bubble invader. I love it. Oh my gosh. Hi, Kelly. That's awesome. So when you are having conversations with these people, I want you to get curious. Okay. Get curious with them. And, you know, one of the things that I ask people the most is, so what do you do for a living? And so they'll say, oh, I do this and I do that or whatever. And then I ask them, oh, cool, how long have you been doing that? And then they say, and then I'm like, cool, okay, what inspired you to do this type of work? That, my friends, is an awesome question, because when you ask someone what inspired them to do the work that they do, typically they will stop and look at you a little bit differently, like, and then you can see the gears turning. Now, usually at these types of events, depending on how close-knit the group of people are, there are some people that literally just do surface level conversations. And when you ask someone what inspires you, or what inspired you to do the work that you do, you literally are getting curious about, cool, what do you do? How long have you been doing it? What inspired you to do that work? Some people just work to pay bills. Well, that's the only job that I could get, and I need to pay my bills. But then you have the other group of people that say, oh, and then they give you this long story, like my chiropractor. I asked him how long he's been doing his thing, how long he had his practice, yada, yada. And then he goes, I asked him, I said, so what inspired you to become a chiropractor? And he goes, actually, I thought chiropractic care was a bunch of bullshit. He said, I thought it was a bunch of pseudoscience and whatever, until I was playing soccer in college and messed up my shoulder, and all the physical therapy in the world didn't fix it. And after 2 years of no luck, my friend's dad came to me and said, I'm a chiropractor, I will help you, because he was seeing me struggle, he said. So he went and got a couple of adjustments, and he's like, brand freaking new. He's like, I drank the Kool-Aid, I'm a believer, and that really inspired me to want to help other athletes. And it was incredible. And so when you genuinely get curious about someone and you ask them, tell me about this. What inspired you to do this work? What inspired you to write that book? What inspired you to make this strawberry salad? Whatever. I don't know. You could hear a story about somebody's grandmother or whatever. But what inspired you to ... and then fill in the blank? It's going to be amazing watching someone's boundaries of, because a lot of the times at parties, people have like this wall up, like it's, like the close talker and this person and that person. And so everybody's like, ugh. So they kind of put this little shell up when they're at these public events. And what happens when you ask a question like that, you can see the walls kind of drop a little bit, and that person really gets excited, and they bring out that story of inspiration on what allowed them, what motivated them, what kind of pulled them to do what they do. And it's just absolutely incredible. And that can help you get to really know someone so that you can start to have that healthy rapport and that healthy conversation between the both of you. And that's one of the beautiful things that helps create healthy boundaries is healthy rapport. It's healthy rapport. And how you get there is you get curious. I mean, how many times have you assumed something about someone that you love and someone that you are in acquaintance with? Just as you change and shift just a little bit every day, so do the people that are in your life. So never assume that you know someone just because you see them every day. Unless you get curious and you have conversations with them, you're not going to know. You're not going to know. And like I said, when you ask that second question, what inspired you to do this work? What inspired you to go on that trip? Whatever that is. But that's a great question. It's a great icebreaker. It's a great conversation starter. You're going to see people's minds shifting. You're going to see what someone truly loves. And this is going to help you build that rapport. And it's going to help you really allow yourself to say, oh, wow, okay. So, and just have that deep conversation, or even just that curiosity conversation that most people are lacking. And, so oftentimes, especially since we had the lockdown and the COVID and all the stuff, so oftentimes when people are in social settings now, they feel awkward and they don't really know what to talk about, and you're just like, you're like awkward, And so that's a great conversation starter, and it's a great icebreaker. And a lot of my clients when they first come to me, they kind of are socially awkward. They're just like, I'm not really good in social settings, yada, yada. And I teach them how to do this type of conversation. And essentially, if you are kind of awkward in social situations or you don't really know what to talk about, get the other person talking about themselves. Ask them, what do you love to do in your free time? What are your hobbies? Whatever. And you can find out the coolest things, and I can guarantee you're gonna find something of similarity where all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, me too, cool. And then you start having a conversation, and it's like, it's so fun, and it's so easy when you ask someone about themselves, because most people like talking about themselves in some form or fashion, especially if you say, what are your hobbies? What do you like doing? What interests you? What are you excited about? Whatever, those types of questions, like I said, that helps you get to know the person, that helps the other person get to know you. It helps that stress level go down when you get curious. And again, and this is the most important thing, it helps build rapport with the people. So rapport is like connection with the people that you are in conversation with. And having that rapport, having that connection helps bridge that gap so that you can start to share with the people in your life what are healthy boundaries for you, what you like, what you don't like, what resonates with you, what's a healthy no and what's a healthy yes. You know what I mean? So if you want more help with the icebreaker thing, like I said, this is one of the things that I help my private clients do. You can also just Google icebreaker questions for a party or a gathering, and you're gonna find a ton of questions that you can use to help start conversations with people. But like I said, this is one of the easiest ways to start conversations, is to ask someone about themselves. That way, you don't have to talk. You're just sitting there listening to them, being engaged. Get curious about what they're sharing with you. And like I said, this is really going to help to build that connection. Now, this month inside of the 1 Degree Shift Tribe, we have been looking all at boundaries. We've been, like I said, looking at inner boundaries, outer boundaries, and what they are, how they keep us stuck, how when we create healthy boundaries and rapport with people, how we can truly feel massive, massive amounts of freedom. So if you want my support inside of the 1 Degree Shift Tribe, if you want not only my support, but the support of everybody else that's in there, and you want the community of people who are all working towards creating a life that they absolutely love, what I want you to do is click the link in the comments, wherever it is that you're seeing the comments, wherever it is that you're watching this, and join us inside of the 1 Degree Shift Tribe. We have just massive, massive, massive breakthroughs in there every single week. I cannot even tell you how incredibly epic it is. So I love you. I hope that this serves you, and I hope to see you inside of the 1 Degree Shift Tribe. Mwah. Bye.